To understand how this works in real life, I need to tell you a story. We will go back 20 years, to when I was at a restaurant many of you may remember as Roma. From around 1999 to 2004, I was there, working, paying, building something I believed was my future. We were paying about $6,000 a month. Every week, $1,500 had to be on time. No excuses. Half of that money was supposed to go toward a deposit for eventually acquiring the building. There were times the restaurant didn't make enough, so I would pull money from my other business to keep the doors open. I paid the bills, I covered the expenses, I honored my obligations, I did my part, and more. But behind the scenes, something very different was happening. We were told that because of the way the liquor license and management agreements were structured, the business name had to be set up under a specific configuration. We were told it was just how it had to be done to transfer the license correctly. What I did not know was that they were planning to transfer their tax liability and obligations to us, the unsuspecting business owners who thought we were walking into an opportunity, not a trap. There is always someone who just died in these stories, the owner, the asset holder, the one whose identity becomes useful once they cannot speak. And with respect to every deceased person involved in these patterns, let me say this. I never imagined that people would be so sick, so calculated, that they would turn the dead into tools. But that is exactly what this type of scam does. With fintech and online platforms, it became easy to take over the identity of someone who has passed away, attach your photo to their profile, and step into an entire credit and legal identity that does not belong to you. Back then, I didn't understand any of this. I thought I was just dealing with a tough business deal, with normal challenges, with bad luck. It took me 20 years to discover what actually happened. 20 years to realize that money I thought was a down payment was being funneled into someone else's net profit. Agreements I trusted were set up to shift risk onto me. And when the owner died, the paper trail made me the one carrying burdens that weren't mine. What they didn't count on was that I would survive, that I would save the paperwork, that I would read every line, that I would watch case after case, person after person, suffer the same kind of fraud, and finally put the pieces together. My story is not the only one. It is just one example of how this system operates. Quietly, on paper, in a way that looks legitimate, until you follow the money.